Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Michael Ayala. It is time now for today's Talkback segment. Each day we post a question on Court TV's social media pages. We gather your comments and questions and respond right here on the show. Now, Derek Chauvin was convicted of murder last April, and now, acting as his own attorney, he has filed papers himself saying he intends to appeal his conviction based on over a dozen issues. So we asked our viewers, do you think he got a fair trial? Still with me is Deputy Public Defender for Los Angeles County, Philip Dube. All right, our first comment is from Mary Lee. Mary says, no, he did not get a fair trial. They rushed the trial to please everyone. I'm not saying he's not guilty or guilty. I'm just saying he didn't get a fair trial. And you know what, Philip, I love the way Mary Lee puts that, because she doesn't seem to have a horse in the race, but she says maybe they rushed it. Maybe there were some other issues he's claiming. Love to get your thoughts on his file.
Well, to be quite candid, I'm not aware that his attorney filed motions to continue the trial on the grounds that he just simply wasn't prepared. Every defendant's counsel, necessarily needs time to prepare, and it redounds to a defendant's detriment within his right to effective assistance of counsel. He has a fundamental right to have his lawyer prepared. But I just think they're just floating the idea, and I don't think that was the case at all. I think his lawyer did a fine job with the evidence that he was confronted with.
I agree, but I will say this. Let me read our next comment, then I'll say it. Our next comment is from Vivian Murphy. She says the trial was totally unfair and conviction, too much media coverage through the whole thing, ruined all chances of a true fair trial. And I will say that I thought that this particular jury, now one of the arguments was that where could you find a jury that didn't know about it? But I thought a jury in that jurisdiction had particular pressures because that's where the event took place. That's where the protests were.
Well, if you recall, Michael, we were front and center in a pandemic. Everybody was housebound, glued to their televisions, eating. That's all we had to do was watch TV and stuff our faces. The whole world was watching this trial, or not the trial, but the event unfold. The riots, the death of George Floyd. You could have transferred venue to Kazakhstan, and it would not have mattered because everybody had heard of this case. How you cure it is in jury selection during voir dire. You examine prospective jurors and see if they've had any exposure to any of the media attention, if they've read any articles on it, watch clips on it, and that's how you ferret it out. But based on what I recall, all those jurors were able to set aside what, if anything, they heard and just base their deliberations on the evidence.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think they did a fantastic job in voir dire. All right, thank you so much, Philip Dube. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. Appreciate your insights. I'm Michael Ayala. It has been a pleasure being with you as well. Coming up next in Closing Argument.